Good evening, everybody. This is Sweat, and you're watching a little bit of Offensive Rush on Operation Metro, of course. And In the Works of Media and I are about to steamroll this opposing team, so I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. But I want to talk a little bit more about the weapons changes and the weapons balance after this huge September patch that DICE finally implemented. And of course, I want to talk about the M416, or the M416 as so many of you like to call it, the HK416 as many others like to call it. And many of you will actually remember way back when, all the way back to a couple months ago when I was exclusively a console player, when I exclusively played on Xbox Live. And you guys will remember that my go-to weapon was the M416. It was a weapon that I absolutely adored. When I wanted to try hard, when I wanted to get things done, I went to the M416, and that's the only death I'll have in this game. I get a few knockdowns later on this game, but that'll be the only death, so I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this gameplay that's somewhat flawless, I guess. So anytime I wanted to get work done, it was the M416. The 96 kill game, a lot of you may remember the battle log report to that. Didn't actually get it recorded, unfortunately, on Metro with the standard ticket count server on console. You guys will remember that was with the M416, so it was always a weapon that I was really just glued to, just attached to. I had that connection with, and a lot of you guys may have that weapon, and it's not always the M16, which is why they made the changes that they did, because a lot of people did have that attachment to the M16. A lot of us, we begged and pleaded with DICE, this needs to be changed because this weapon, just the M416, just can't compete with a lot of the other weapons, such as the M16. It didn't have the fire rate. In addition, it didn't have the same control. It had more recoil, and so it was never really any reason to use that weapon. Of course, other than the fact that it did have a little bit slower fire rate for those people that, preferred that. However, DICE did make some changes. Now, they made a lot of changes to this weapon, in addition to reducing the short reload time, which is actually significant in itself. A lot of people kind of discount the reload times, but it's always something I look at in a weapon, because those milliseconds, or sometimes full seconds for some weapons, may mean the difference between getting that extra kill and being able to pick up an extra guy too, or having to wait 12, 15, 25 seconds for you to spawn and get back into the fight. So I actually take reload times into account, and I'm very serious about it. But in addition to the short reload time that was reduced, which means it reloads faster, they did a few range bonus adjustments as far as the heavy barrel. They reduced that range bonus just a bit, and they reduced the penalty on the suppressor, so it's a bit stronger for the suppressor. Of course, that's across all 5.56 millimeter assault rifles, so that's not exclusive to the M416. What is exclusive to the M416, and what's very noteworthy, is the vertical horizontal recoil were all reduced, and they said it was reduced to make this weapon clearly different from the M16A3. Also, what was reduced was the first shot recoil. That very first shot recoil was reduced, which again, that's also significant. But I really find the wording, the choice of wording, kind of funny, because it says reduced to make this clearly different from the M16A3. Now, it may not have the same recoil patterns as the M16A3, but I feel like this weapon now is just as controllable as the M16A3 was on PC. And I really find it funny that a lot of you guys, and look how many times I get downed here, but I don't die. That's why it's somewhat flawless gameplay. I really find it funny that a lot of you guys on console, whenever I would show you guys the M16A3 gameplay before this patch, although I don't think it nerfed it that much, but that's a whole nother story, you guys would always comment that it looks like it's much easier to control on PC. And of course, I was still doing that with a controller. I just find it really funny that you guys say that, because I kind of feel the exact opposite of that. I feel like it's so much easier for me to control the M16 on console, again, even after this big nerf that they had, and all the increase in the recoil, than the M416 still today, after the improvements of the M416. But there's no denying that this weapon is much improved, and it's now really a viable option. Before, I used it on console because for whatever reason I had that personal touch, but once I got to PC, that was out the window. For whatever reason, it wasn't working for me. Now it's clearly a good option. It's not I still think that I could have better performance with the M16A3, but I can compete with those other weapons. It's a viable option, which is what I think they need to make all the weapons, viable options in their own right. So I'm really excited about it, guys. I really can't wait to spam my sub box full of videos with the M416 again, just like you guys always used to enjoy. If you did like this video, I encourage you to hit that like button. I really appreciate the support on my channel. If you want to check out the other videos, Armored Kill, look out there on the left, and the video on the right is the overlooked M60, another somewhat weapon review on the M60 that kind of got overlooked in the patch notes themselves. And of course, if you're new here, click that subscribe button. All links to social media will be in the description below. You guys have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.